Another quarterback who can run it well when he needs to, but doesn't do it all that often, is Dak Prescott of the Cowboys. And the Cowboys got their third straight win yesterday, sending the Panthers to 3-1. Here's Dak Prescott after the 36-28 home victory over Carolina.
We want to be the best, and we want to win, and we want to win late in the year, and we want to go play in the last game out in California. And so we got to continue to build on this culture week in and week out. No matter what situation we are in the game, we've got to lock arms and just trust our brotherhood and everything and all the commitment we've had up to this point, and continue to grow and continue to get better.
And they've been phenomenal. Look, they gave the Buccaneers everything they could handle right out of the gates, and they have proven since then that it was not a fluke, and they have looked clearly better than everyone they've played, especially last Monday night. Different class than the Philadelphia Eagles, and they now take on a Panthers team that was very hot, starting to get hyped. Great defense. Well, we talk about balance on offense. The Cowboys have found it the last 3 games, and they're running the ball incredibly well. Dak Prescott's numbers, I looked at them. I said this last night in something we were doing for digital. Well, 14 for 22, 188 yards, and I thought, well, that's a pretty good first half. What do you do in the second half? No, that was it. From 58 passes week 1 to 22 in week 4. He had 4 touchdowns on those 22 attempts and 14 completions, but that's what you want. You want that balance. You want to be able to run it. You want to be able to throw it. Like I said earlier, you want the defense to never really know what's coming. That's what makes it all as effective as it can be.
Yeah, they didn't have to throw that much. They ran it 34 times. Listen, first thing I'm going to say is I saw a lot of people on Twitter saying, oh, well, they're killing this Carolina defense, which came in to the game as the top defense. Well, they hadn't played anybody, so they're really not that good. No. This Carolina defense is a really good defense. Maybe not the numbers showing that they were that good because of who they played, but it is a really, really, really good defense. The Dallas Cowboys just have exactly what you said and exactly what every offense wants is balance. When you can, listen, everybody wants to, offensive linemen want to run the ball. They want to run it 34 times and only have their quarterback throw it 22 times. They would love that. They love going forward. And again, after getting Zach Martin back, Zach and Tyron Smith, those are the 2 stars of that line. They have been running like crazy, 245 yards yesterday. But then that helps so much with the passing game and the receivers they have. All that being said, Mike, the biggest difference in change for this team has been their defense, which it almost couldn't help it because they were so bad last year, but they are better. You know, Micah Parsons playing either linebacker or DN. You got guys that can make plays now. So it's not the best defense in the league, but it's a defense that's playing a hell of a lot better than they were last year to complement a very balanced offense.
Yeah, Parsons had another sack yesterday. And, on that offensive side, Amari Cooper said at one point this week, because he was only targeted a handful of times in the Monday night win over the Eagles, well, I can't really complain about that. That would be selfish. As long as you're winning, you're not going to hear any frustration from Amari Cooper or CeeDee Lamb or anyone else. CeeDee Lamb had 2 catches yesterday for 13 yards. Cooper only had 3. Now he had 69 yards and a touchdown, and 69 yards led the team. But if they really are going to commit to balance, you've got a high-powered group of pass catchers that you're going to have to keep from getting frustrated because pass catchers want to catch passes. And it helps to have a good leader in Dak Prescott who will keep them placated and get everyone to buy into the idea that we don't care about the numbers. We care about winning games. And they've got a good formula right now. And as long as they keep winning, it would be very difficult for Cooper or Lamb or anyone else to complain they're not getting the ball as much as they'd like to see it.
Boy, I hope I don't hear that. I mean, you want to hear about the ultimate of selfishness. It's not like we haven't heard that, out of players in the past, even when things are going well. But, boy, that's one where, I hope you don't hear that. And you hope a player may think that privately. They may be thinking, at home, boy, I'd like to catch more balls and have better stats because that certainly can lead, to bigger things for you. But I would agree. I would hope they'd never say that publicly because it should be about team, even though there are individual stats out there. You're winning right now. Things are going well. So the last thing you need is any kind of a grumbling that, yeah, we're winning, but, I want the ball more. Man, I mean, you want to talk about a way to have yourself looked at with a kind of a strange eye in the locker room. You do something like that.
Well, and you just wonder, even if a guy doesn't come out and say it, is he carrying himself a little bit differently? Is there something there? It's like, you can tell when something's bothering someone, even if they never come out and say it. Maybe a little more impatient, just not as engaged as maybe they could otherwise be because they feel like they don't have the kind of a role that they thought they should have. That's something that needs to be managed. It's one of the byproducts of winning with balance. Especially when you consider, Mike, the numbers that Cooper and Lamb had week one when they threw the ball 58 times. You have that first game of the season, you start looking at it. We did our projections. Hey, based on week one, look at and then all of a sudden it goes the other way. And we know how pass catchers are. That's their moment. They're there to catch passes. That's what they want to do. They don't want to block. They don't want to run routes and be decoys. They want the ball. They want to show what they can do. It's just it's a good problem to have. I think Dak Prescott's the right leader to keep it under control. But it is something to watch because you got some guys who are getting paid a lot of money or who want to be paid a lot of money, and the way to justify your salary or earn your salary is to go out there and catch passes.
That would, if players need to be placated by that, it's a bit of a shame. But you're right. I know we are in that era. But, I mean, they're going to be – it's not like – listen, we got a lot of games left to go, and I have a feeling the Cowboys are going to have to throw the ball in some of these games as well. Those guys, they've gotten plays. I would just go up to them and say, you know what, guys? This isn't an Army and Navy offense, okay? We're not running the triple option where you're out there blocking all the time, all right? You're going to get the ball. I mean, but like anything else, you get the ball 5 times, you want it 7 times. You get the ball 7 times, you want it 9 times. You get it 10 times, you're like, oh, I could have had 12 catches. I get it. But as long as you keep it in proper perspective and understand it's the team that comes first and they're winning.
Now they're 3-1. They've got a couple of late afternoon games coming up. The Giants come to Dallas, and then the Cowboys go to New England before their bye week. So, they're moving in the right direction. They're better than I thought they were going to be. Yep. The defense is better than it was last year. It couldn't have been much worse. Dak Prescott has shown that he is back. And this week coming up, hey, it was week 5 last year, Giants at Cowboys when he suffered that broken ankle. It's week 5 this year, Giants at Cowboys in a big spot. And the Giants got their win yesterday, and they've been close. They've been knocking on the door. All of a sudden, that's a more interesting game than maybe we thought it would have been. Giants-Cowboys had lost some shine in recent years. I think it's starting to get the shine back a little bit, Mike.
Well, listen, I hope so because we all love those rivalries, especially what was considered that black and blue division. Certainly in the years I was playing there, we'd play the Giants, we'd play Washington, and just how hard those, and certainly Dallas when I was in Philly, how hard those games were, and how bruising that they were and how competitive that they were. I know the Giants got their first win, but, I mean, we'll see how competitive this one is if they can bring that back because Dallas is a much better team than the Giants. Dallas could blow this team out, so I don't know if we'll get what we've seen in the past out of these two teams. Maybe we will. Who knows? Daniel Jones played well, as you mentioned, the Giants in getting their first win, but they still have a ways to go to reach where Dallas is right now. Let's hope. You always hope for a competitive game when you're watching, but I'm not sure we'll get it.
One quick memory I just had, too, back to the days of pancakes and cigarettes. The 70s, the big games in the late afternoon were always those NFC East games with Pat Summerall and Tom Brookshire and the guys playing on the green cement with the lights on, whether it was Eagles-Cowboys, Cowboys-Giants, Washington-Eagles. Throw the Cardinals in there, too, because they were part of that division. But, those were some special games. And you always knew when you heard Pat Summerall's voice, you always knew it was a big deal.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.